growing up in your faith when you first became a Christian. You would pray a prayer and then the Lord answers your prayer, right? And as the time went by, it seemed like, okay, in the first few years, God answers my prayer quickly. But now it doesn't seem like it's that fast or that quick, right? I remember one of my kids, Pastor Jim Lafun, prophesied over them, or that one child, and said, at 8 or 9, God pursued you. But now, 14, 15, God's teaching you to pursue Him. And so I wonder if that's the case sometimes with us. That the first few years we're, excited, when we pray, God answers our prayers. But there are times that He doesn't answer. Why? Because He's wanting us to not just ask, but to also what? Seek. When you talk about seeking, the word that was used here in the Greek was really to search for, to strive after. There's a more deliberate effort. There's an intentionality. I need to seek. I need to ask. I need to search for it. In fact, the same word that was used in Matthew chapter 18, verse 12, when the good shepherd, Jesus, was being illustrated as the shepherd who would leave the 99 and seek the one. So there's an effort. There's a deliberate effort and intentionality. There's an exertion. And so seek and you shall find. In fact, a couple weeks ago, somebody came up to me and after that I said, could you just share your story, email me your story. And so she actually emailed me her story. Nicole, she said, I was working for an advertising company and everything was doing great. But I felt like God was moving me on to a next one. So she worked for a consumer goods company, a startup one. And since it's a consumer goods company, she said, we had these targets. And September 14, I was just a fourth of my target for the month. Half of the month already, but I'm just still a fourth of my target. And so I was stressed, right? And so I went to my victory group, my small group, and my victory group leader asked me, okay, Nicole, how are you? And you look really stressed, right? Yeah, I've been stressed, work and all this and that. How's your time with Jesus? And she said, to be really honest, I haven't been really spending some time with Jesus. I haven't been reading the Bible. That might be a good thing to do after today's meeting. And so, that night she prayed and she said, Lord, I'm going to because she has an app on her phone that talks about the sales and just she gets notification if somebody buys and toot, 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 like that. And so she put down her phone, actually turned it off, I think, and then opened up her Bible and said, Lord, and the word that God gave her was seek first His kingdom and His righteousness. And she said, Lord, I'm going to seek you first. You first. Set aside the app, the phone. September 14, that was. 2 days after, September 16, okay, she hits her target. Okay. September 16, September 18, okay, she gets 500,000 of sales. Okay. September 29, by the end of the month, she hits her target for the year. What an amazing, amazing story. And you think about, she said, she was crying. She said, Pastor Paolo, I just need to put Jesus first. I need to seek Him first before the answer to my prayer. Seek Him first.